everybody. Tonia Reeves, Australia's Cowgirl medium, coming at you from hometown here in Sunday Creek. It's a really miserable rainy day today, so it's a good one to be spending inside, and not having to go out very much today is on the agenda. So, yeah, today I have got readings this afternoon, but other than that, I will be having a bit of a rest up. And I think it's kind of the reminder sometimes when the weather is a little bit average. I mean, I love going out in the rain, but when it's really cold, I'm a little bit like not so ideal. So it will be a great day to just be able to get things done inside and just enjoy being warm and appreciate, the fact that I have got a heater on and the rest of it to keep comfortable. So we've got a full moon, which in Oz will be here tomorrow, possibly over in America. I think that might be today as well. So full moon's always a good time to release what no longer serves us, to do a bit of reassessing and to sit down and journal, any forgiveness or, just things that we want to be mindful of letting go of. And, I often find that when it is that time of the full moon, we can get things sorted a bit quicker. And I think for this one, we've come out of retrograde energy, so we're kind of into stepping up into our power. And for many people, the journey so far and moving forward is about, what's empowering us and what is heading us closer to our goal of following our either, true purpose or following our heart's desire, which often for everyone, is different, but it is great to be able to really connect in with being in alignment with that. So it's an important time right now to sort of question around what is that for you. And I often say it's a great exercise to do, is to sit down and go, if there was nothing external that you took into consideration, what would you be doing and where would you be right now? And if it's not where you are, then, sometimes writing down that big picture for you is being clear to the universe and just allowing it to come in whatever needs to. So, we need to set that intention, and we don't need to necessarily outline it, but, we need to go, okay, what feels good for me? Am I, wanting to embrace a bit of travel at the moment, or, for this half of the year that we're coming into now, or what is it that we want to bring to the table for 2022? Because the energy's picked up its pace a little bit, so the time does seem to be flying by, but sometimes just having that clear goal at the end, which if you're writing that down, then you're allowing the universe to bring it to you in whatever way, shape or form is needed. And I also feel like a big message right now is that we need to slow down to speed up. So, if you feel like you're hustling all the time, or you're feeling like you're chasing your tail, sometimes the best gift you can give yourself is just to take some time out, get off the train of life and just be able to sit and be an allowance of, not necessarily doing some things, but being something, like just generally being present and being able to embrace your own company. It might be reading a book, it might be listening to a podcast. Do something that brings you closer to your big picture. And you'll be amazed at how much better you feel with that. So I'm going to go into my caller today, Amy from Illinois. Amy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good, thanks. Thanks for calling in. Really good to connect with you today. Let me see. There's a mother figure around you that I just want to connect with. I've got a lady stepping forward that has got messages for you, and there's something around you're either making changes at the moment, or she's showing me you're taking big steps. So when they bring that forward to me, it's like you're stepping outside of your comfort zone and making decisions around doing something different. Does that resonate for you?
I'm trying to heal. Today is 2 years ago that my brother died.
Okay. Wow. So is
my boyfriend
the lady
died
in the
6 months
spirit
ago.
world? Yeah. So I've got a lady coming through first. I just want to acknowledge her before we go on to your brother. So this is not mum in the spirit world. There's a connection to mum. So is it mum's mum that's passed?
No, I have a grandma and I have an aunt. I have an aunt and a grandma.
Okay, let's get a little bit more on her. I feel like there's an A initial around her, and I do feel like she claimed like that there's an aspect of feeling mum to you. So I feel like you would have had a good connection with her, and that's kind of why she's stepping up first. And she's got the stronger personality. So I do feel with her, she called things as they were. So it's almost like in the way that she comes across, she's not scared to say what's needed to be said. Does that make sense?
I don't know anybody with an A.
Okay. It might be a connection to her, but as far as the personality, does that relate to your grandmother being the stronger personality, being a little bit out there?
He died when I was 2.
Yeah, wow. Okay, yep. So in I suppose, like, obviously you wouldn't remember, but in the description of her, does that fit with her being like, because this woman has got a personality. So I just want to confirm where she fits with for you. That makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so this is somebody with a definite personality. She's quite a strong lady. So even if you didn't know her, be interesting to speak to somebody in the family and go, okay, does that fit with the description of who she was? Because she's quite a, like a strong lady, a bit of a leader. And I do feel like she's come through first to pave the way for. There's something around with your brother. Is he a little bit timid, or I just feel like he's not stepping forward? It's almost like she's the strong one. Okay, I'm here, and she's like bringing him forward, but he's a little bit more, almost feel like his personality would have been a little bit sort of shy, but, not one to sort of jump in, like a little bit more placid, if that makes sense, and a little bit more timid almost is what I get with his energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he passed suddenly, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, because there's something around, and there is that little bit of it's not a reluctance to come through, because he definitely wants to connect with you, but he is gingerly coming through. So I feel with that, it's almost like there was decisions that were made prior to him passing, and there's a little bit of regret there, and he wants to acknowledge that with you, and almost acknowledging that he could have done things better is what I want to say. And he feels there's a little bit of guilt around that. And it's almost like coming through going, I'm really sorry, and not realising the impact his passing would have.
Right.
Okay, so it's like he acknowledges that in the spirit world, and he does, there's that, and it's almost like he's gingerly coming through going, I feel, I can feel it in his heart. He feels really, he feels really responsible about how everyone was left. And I do feel there was question marks around prior to him passing, but it's almost like he's coming through going, it doesn't really matter now. And
it doesn't matter.
It's almost like it to him, he's putting his hand up, and it's almost like he doesn't want people to be dwelling on the question marks around him passing. Okay, because I feel like that's not what he's showing me. It's not helping everyone to grieve and remember him for who he was, because there's a lot of, he's got a really big heart, and I just feel like he doesn't want everyone distracted from, the fact of who he was and the fact that he isn't there anymore with the question marks. And he also doesn't want blame put on people, is what he's showing me. So he really wants to acknowledge that he's taking responsibility, and he doesn't want, necessarily people having to live with guilt around what happened.
It sounds like AJ.
Yeah, it very much a selfless person is what I get with him. And I do feel like there's an aspect of maybe he wasn't fully understood by many in life, and I don't necessarily feel like that covers you as well, because I feel like he's, you two had an affinity, and I feel like he's acknowledging you had an understanding of him maybe more than others in the family.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like he's very grateful for that. He's also coming forward with a conversation that you two had, and I feel like there was something in that conversation is what he's showing me that he doesn't want you to feel guilty about. So whether he spoke to you about something and you've often relayed that conversation, and he's saying, do not feel bad, what happened has happened, and you couldn't have changed it. Okay, is what he's saying.
I've been nervous.
Please tell her.
I said I should have been there.
Yeah, you know, and he doesn't want you to feel guilty. He's got so much love for you, and he's also acknowledging about the family being united. Like, he doesn't want everyone to be, you know, like, he doesn't want things to be fractured due to the fact that he's passed, if that makes sense.
They are.
Yeah. And it's like he ultimately doesn't want that to happen. And I do feel like up there he will kind of do his darndest to try and make everyone see things from each other's perspective. It's something like we're all on different sides of the camp is what he's showing me. Like, and he doesn't want his passing to be what divides everybody. It's really important. And I feel like family, as much as there was, you know, it's like he's showing me there was chinks in the armor, or there was, you know, like we weren't all the perfect connection by any means, but he doesn't want his passing to, you know, to make people even further apart, if that makes sense. So very, very much he wants to acknowledge that. Yeah. And you know, I can't, yeah, so I just couldn't deal with it. But I do feel with his message coming through, there's a lot of guilt. And I feel like what he's showing me is you don't need to have guilt, because you were there to support him. You did the best you could. But I feel like maybe the others that are really struggling are feeling guilt because they didn't necessarily step up when they could have. Yeah. Right. So they chose not to. But he's coming through going, he understands everyone did the best they could, but he doesn't want blame to be put on, you know, others that then make them carry guilt. So I feel like with Mum, she's carrying a lot of guilt around, should she have done something different? And possibly, you know, looking from the outside, everyone would have thought, yes, she could have made more of an effort. But he wants to say, I don't want Mum to carry that. And it's not, she did what she could. And he is understanding of that. So I don't know what Mum went through, but I feel like Mum went through something, is what he's showing me.
Our mom is a master manipulator. She didn't ever care for us kids.
Yeah. But he's acknowledging in the spirit world, he understands now. So I don't, you know, obviously for Mum to get to that point, she went through some stuff. But I do feel like there's something around her childhood that's, you know, obviously created her to be like she is. But I do feel, you know, he's just acknowledging from the spirit world, he doesn't want, you know, he doesn't want everyone carrying guilt around his passing, because he's happy now. He's showing me he's at peace now. He's also acknowledging there's a child up there with him, or like somebody that's passed younger, but he's not giving me who, but I do feel like he's got somebody young, and it's like, you know, he's having fun with that child is what he's showing me. So he really wanted to bring that through. So I feel like that's a connection to you to say, I'm up here with this child, and I'm like, because like he's holding his hand, he's got this child with him. So it's like he's acknowledging that. And I don't know whether he couldn't have children, or he didn't have children, but he connected with children. And it's like over there he's connecting with this child, and he wants you to know that they're not on their own.